It's your boy Big Baby. Support sporting icons for latest boxing news. Cheeseburger.
So the DAZN platform is now officially launched. You can get your free month and it's $9.99, all that kind of stuff. Any other details, check the previous video for the announcements and which fighters are on there. Now, one of them, even if you haven't watched that video, is Big Baby Jarrell Miller. Now, Alexander Povetkin, Joshua were on the stage. They both had the mic each, so they both took turns. Povetkin come out, said his speed in Russian. He had a translator there as well. To be honest, I didn't quite hear what the translator said, but I do know that Povetkin was speaking Russian, and Privyet, suka, anybody who's Russian can translate that for you. So, and then Joshua come out, it's being nice. A couple of people tried to heckle him, which was kind of amusing. It's like Eddie Hearn said that, there's more people here in this little room watching the whole DAZN launch than there was at Deontay Wilder's last fight. Absolutely correct. Anyway, this isn't about him, although technically it should have been, because he should have been there, but he bottled it. Why did he bottle it? Because he knows that Joshua would not accept any kind of brash bad mouthing. Joshua will get in his face and if necessary, chin him right there in the middle of the room. And this was pretty much what I thought Anthony Joshua may have done to Jarrell Miller. All the guys from DAZN, the new fighters who have signed up, including Joshua and Povetkin, all stood in a row, along with Case Taylor and that as well, to have like press photos as a group. And right after it broke up, something happened between Jarrell Miller and Joshua. I know Joshua was shaking hands with people. I'm not too sure exactly what happened because one of the camera people were like in the way of exactly what happened. I don't know whether Joshua offered his hand and Miller refused it, or Miller offered his hand and Joshua refused it. I don't know who's exactly at fault on this one. I will probably imagine Miller. To be fair, it is the character of Miller. Either way, Miller said something and they kind of like got pulled apart, and because they want Joshua and Povetkin to have a face-to-face, which of course is what they've done. But as this is going on, Joshua is shouting over at Jarrell Miller to shut your damn face, and before I knock your head off, or worse to that effect anyway. So he was ready to tear it up with Miller because Miller was being a little bit abusive. But this is Miller. I mean, I thought that maybe he might be a bit respectful as it's the launch of DAZN, and if anybody who's going to be a little bit offended by what Miller done, or maybe Joshua retaliating, it's a little bit of promo is what it is. Essentially Miller and Joshua not privy to it, just that this kind of happened. I don't know, maybe Eddie Hearn said to Miller, hey, you know what, maybe you want to start something if you want this fight. Wouldn't surprise me, because it's a little bit of beef, as Kugan Cassius calls it, right? But ultimately, doesn't really matter. I don't believe Eddie Hearn did say anything. I don't believe this is any kind of setup. I know some people try and make it out as some kind of setup. You know what people are like over there, as in some of the channels will try and do that. But either way, it will have worked. It would have got a bit of profile, no doubt about it. And maybe people will want that fight now, because now they have legitimate history. They've literally met each other. I believe that's probably for the first time that they've come face to face, and they kind of kicked off. Of course, they're rivals. Miller, he wants Anthony Joshua. He wants that big money and the opportunity for a world title. And Joshua, he should be kind of used to it. But no, he bit, not for the first time. He did it with Dominic Brazil as well. If you guys remember when them two had their fight scheduled, when Dominic Brazil was getting like a little bit disrespectful, Joshua put him in his place. And so this is pretty much what happened. Joshua was having none of it. If you think he's humble when nobody's antagonizing him. If you antagonize him, he'll snap. And that's what would have happened had Wilder turned up and tried to get in his face. Joshua, wouldn't surprise me if he'd have tried to lay some hands and feet on him. And that's probably why Wilder didn't turn up, because he knew not only would Joshua have a go at him, actually I'm pretty sure Joshua and Miller would have probably had a tag team to start teeing off on Wilder, kicking him in front of everybody, as in smashing him up. And then once Wilder is in a limp condition, them two would have probably turned on each other, like WWE style. So anyway, that's the news, what come out of DAZN, or one of them. Go check the previous video for all the announcements, all that kind of good stuff. So drop your thoughts below. Did you watch that bit? What do you think of it? If not, I'm pretty sure that IFL Kugan Cassius will be robbing that footage At some point I'm putting it up as our own. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.